What's up, everybody? Back today with another review for you, and it's going to be a sequel to a film that I reviewed pretty early on this channel. You can go back and check out the video. It's pretty funny. I was watching it right before doing this, but this movie is The Dead 2 India, and the first film was called The Dead, and it was basically about a guy fighting his way across Africa during the zombie outbreak. And the cool thing about it was not only did it take place outdoors in Africa, it was the slow type of Night of the Living Dead zombies, the original type Romero made famous. So that brings us to The Dead 2 India, and instead of Africa this time it's India, and of course an easy place to get a lot of extras. Basically the same story. This time the guy's also an engineer, but he's not a soldier. He's an American, and he has to basically fight his way across India to his girlfriend who's pregnant, and she's 300 miles away in Mumbai from where he's at. And that's how the film opens up. Basically through the course of the journey, just like the other one, he has to use different vehicles and all this stuff, and this one he picks up a boy and has sort of like this spiritual journey with this boy. And there's this allegory that the boy tells him when they're in these caves hiding out or whatever, and it kind of pertains to the whole story as it ends up, especially in the end. It's really obvious, so you won't miss it at all, believe me. But it's basically like a spiritual journey, sort of like a journey of redemption for our hero. And, he has to kill a lot of zombies on the way, basically. Not as dynamic as the first film. That's the biggest gripe I had about it. I like the lead in the first film. He played the soldier, so it was a little bit more realistic that he was good with the gunplay, a little sharper on his toes, because he was thinking like a soldier, and all he was really thinking about was himself getting off this continent. On this one, the guy's trying to go to his pregnant girlfriend, and there's this little subplot where the girl's stuck with her dad, who of course doesn't approve of the relationship of her being with an American, because of course she's Indian, and the dad, has some interaction with the daughter, and then the mother's sick, so she has interactions with the mom and stuff, and it just kind of got a little boring, not as dynamic. This one tried to be a lot more dramatic, I guess, and tell more of a heartfelt story, because you have this orphan character and then the main character relating to him, and I kind of like the way it ended. The first one ended like a cliffhanger, and so did this one, to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but it kind of ended the same way, and I was like, that kind of pissed me off at the same time. I don't know. I just didn't feel this movie packed as much punch as the first one. A couple of big gripes I had was the guy, the way he got away from his Land Rover. He had like this badass Jeep Land Rover type thing at the beginning of the movie, and then he got out of it for some stupid reason and went to like a little airfield base, but he never ran back to it. Instead, he tried to jump on this wind-propelled machine, which makes for a kind of cool scene in the movie, but it was so stupid. It's like, why not just drive through with your burly Jeep, because that's what you're going to wind up basically doing anyways. And the big part of the first one was the guy was trying to fix a car to keep it running so he could go, travel across the country in Africa. And so this one has that same thing, but he ditches the car way too easy so they can throw these other gimmicks in and these other plot devices in. And some of it works, some of it doesn't. The acting is a little, especially from the Indian family, I wasn't buying it. The Indian boy is good, but the Indian girlfriend and the dad and the mom, it was just, oh. And not to mention some sort of bad special effects slightly in the movie. It doesn't really take you out of the story, the special effects, but you can notice some, like the CGI. There's a CGI helicopter, and just some of the facial effects aren't that great. They have so many zombies, and they're very plain zombies. They're not made up like the Walking Dead style zombies, which is fine, but it's just, the smashing effects, they don't look very good on them. So that's about it. Just not as overall as good as the first film, not as much action. The spiritual redemptive storyline was kind of lost on me. And yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with the third film, but if they wind up making a third film, hopefully they'll explain a little bit more of what's going on with the zombies, how it happened, what started, because this film explains none of that. I always look for that. If you're going to have one zombie movie, you should at least probably explain more about the outbreak in the second film. That's another little nitpick. I had a lot of nitpicks with this film. I can't recommend it. 2.5 out of 5. Yeah, the first film, if you look back on my video, I said it was a 5 for zombie fans. And I think it was kind of something that was fresh for zombie fans. I don't know, 5 might have been exaggerating a little bit. And then I also said, for the regular movie, I'd consider it a 3.5. So the first one is quite a bit better. Just watch the original one if you haven't seen that. The Dead 2, if you must, you might want to watch it. Like I said, just kind of fell on deaf ears. I just didn't care anymore by the end of the story, to tell you the truth. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. If you've seen The Dead 2, let me know. Any good? What'd you think? Like I said, I can't recommend it. So, tell me what you thought down below, and I'll see you soon. And I'm still working with this new mic. Bye guys.